Welcome back to the ATSF Wild subdivision. I'm Fred Wild and I'm the owner and operator of this layout. If you remember my last update, my left arm was in a sling. Well, at the end of October, I was able to get my arm out of the sling. I started my physical therapy. All of my physical therapy progressed very nicely, and I was able to finish physical therapy in March. The last train show that I was able to go to was the weekend before Thanksgiving in Sioux Falls. I made a few purchases. I know, what a big surprise. December was very busy at work and with my life. My oldest son got engaged, and a little more on that one later. And I took a new position with the company, which I started in January. I am now working 3 12-hour days a week. It was about this time when my shoulder was healed enough for me to feel comfortable starting to work on the layout again. During my recovery, my basement had become kind of a dumping ground. Stuff that we wanted to keep, some stuff that was just garbage, but we hadn't dealt with getting rid of it yet. So my first order of business was to clean. In January, I got a storage unit so that I could start to put stuff that I wanted to keep out of my way so that I could start to get back to work on the layout. I have since started working on my helix, and I have continued to lay some track in my staging yard. I have also continued on my second level a little bit. In April, I started wiring some of my block detection and testing out my signal decoder. In May, when everyone was in Colorado for the YouTube meet and greet, I was at a wedding of my oldest child. My wife and I are now empty nesters. In June, I worked on my gate that allows access to my furnace and my electrical panel. I also worked on putting some more drywall along the south wall, but I still have some yet to go. In early June, the wife and I made a trip to South Carolina to see the area where our new daughter-in-law grew up, and to spend time with her folks and friends there. We had a good trip, but our camper had a catastrophic roof failure. I will now be building a new roof for my camper. It did mean that our trip cost more than I had intended, which means that there won't be as much train budget for a little while going forward. I was able to stop at Mark Twain Hobby Center in St. Charles, Missouri, and also at Midwest Model Railroader in Independence, Missouri. Believe it or not, I did buy some stuff at both places. In other news, last summer I finally pulled the trigger and got myself a drone. I've been thinking about getting one for several years now. My first drone was a DJI Mavic Mini, which I got used off of eBay. It sent me down a rabbit hole into a whole new hobby that I am quite enjoying. I started flying in one of the areas that my city said it was okay to recreational fly. For the attention of the FAA, these videos are all recreational flights. I am now studying to take my Part 107 test so that I can fly commercially, aka shoot videos of trains that I can post on YouTube. For those who don't know, the test for the Part 107 is basically everything you need to know about flying an airplane without actually knowing anything about flying the plane. In other words, it's the stuff you need to know before you get into the cockpit. After a couple of months of flying my Mini, I got into the world of FPV. After much research, I decided to purchase a FPV drone kit. I got the Emax Easy Pilot Pro kit. It has been a blast learning to fly around the house this winter. Once I got into it, I was hooked. I pretty quickly got myself a better pair of goggles. I purchased the eSheen EV300O goggles. They were a vast improvement to my flying experience, and they really helped me with my ability. They have a built-in DVR, which the goggles that came with the kit did not. Just like trains, I continue to look at new quads. I have now gotten myself a Nazgul 5 version 2, and I have gotten a Radiomaster TS16S, and I have flown the 5-inch a couple of times. It is way faster than my little tiny whoop. It has been taking some adapting getting used to it. I haven't gotten any video from the faster quad yet, but that time will come. Hopefully I'll be able to continue working on the layout and won't spend too much time playing with my quads. Thanks for watching.